So David in Chicago, listening on WCPT. Hey, David, you got a connection between Reagan and Joe Stack, really?
Merry Christmas, yes. You played that clip about Reagan saying that Social Security didn't have anything to do with the deficit, and that's
right.
Very good. But what people need to be reminded is that there are two other important tax things that came up. First of all, Alan Greenspan heading up that commission to shift the Social Security tax burden onto the middle class. And the second big tax issue was basically making individuals, eventually like Mr. Stack, unable to go to companies directly as a private contractor, but because at that time it was felt that the government wasn't collecting enough taxes from individuals. So they allowed this whole tax system to be set up so that now people had to go through an employer that would handle the W-2. This spawned a whole industry evidenced by consulting companies like the lobbying firms like the National Association of Computer Consultant Businesses, NACCB, that established a stranglehold for tech workers now to work directly for companies. Mm-hmm. And we saw this problem arise when all these computer consultants were working at Microsoft, and there was determined that they were really employees, even though Microsoft considered them contractors. So what Mr. Stack ran up against in Silicon Valley was two things. First of all, no longer being able to approach these companies directly as an individual under the 14th Amendment and sell his services directly because of this 86 IRS ruling, which interestingly had to be revisited in 2010 by Donald Neufeld in the case of these Indian body shops that would pimp in these employees and then call them employees when in fact they had no management oversight at all on mm-hmm. these foreign workers. Mm-hmm. The second thing, too, under the 14th Amendment is that Mr. Stack ran into the problem that at that about the time that he had to leave California to go back to Texas, there were already over 54,000 H-1B visa workers in California in 2009, now over 64,000 H-1B visa workers, and in Texas, over 28,000 H-1B visa workers in 2009, now over 31,000 H-1B visa workers.
Right. Let's remind our listeners who we're talking about. Joe Stack was the guy down in Texas who took he was a private pilot. He was an entrepreneur, a software entrepreneur, as I recall.
Software developer, yes.
Yeah, and he was so deep in the hole to the IRS and was so freaked out and frustrated. His marriage was falling apart. His life was falling apart. Everything was falling apart. He decided to commit suicide, and he did so by taking his small plane and flying it into the side of a small high-rise, like a 12, 15-story
IRS office building,
and hit the IRS offices there and killed one IRS employee and wounded a number of others. And
obviously, I'm not. It was a crazy situation.
No, nobody's justifying it.
Nobody's justifying it, but you have to understand what has not been reported. And I talked to somebody who wrote about this, and I'm going to get back to them. But what has not been reported is this double whammy on the fact that Mr. Stack, one, had his livelihood stolen from him by all this cheap foreign labor in both of those states, in the top 10 of H-1B visa workers, not to mention L1 or B or J visa,
or software
green
engineers.
cards. And second of all, this 86 IRS ruling. So we had two major rulings in 86. The Social Security Commission tax burden shift to the middle class, and then this idea that individuals had to go through some sort of an employer W-2 thing that's basically hurt Americans going directly to companies as private contractors.
Remarkable. David, thank you for the information.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for the call. Great to hear from you.